Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Extreme Wars 2014 review for the night, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Heading to Star Wars, my friends, of 2014. I thought tonight's pay-per-view tonight was a pretty fun, entertaining, and pun to the pun, extreme pay-per-view. Had some extreme, like it's a pun extreme action tonight, and as you see by the subtitle, all hell broke loose tonight, with of course some great extreme matches. Plus, we crowned a new Intercontinental Champion this evening. A lot more little action. Uh, I've been debating about how much to give this pay-per-view. I'll give it about a 7.0 out of 10. Yeah, I rated it a little higher than WrestleMania. I guess I rated Mania about 6.5. But I thought this pay-per-view was just fun and entertaining and just had some great moments. There was some duds in there, but the great action of those matches that were great made up for it. Some creepiness too, as well. So let's get on with it. Kicking it off with the pre-show match. Probably in my mind, out of all the pre-show matches, this is probably the best pre-show match I've ever seen for a pay-per-view. We had the WLC match. Weebles and Watters and Wares. I mean, tables and ladders and chairs, oh my. But it was WLC, Hornswoggle, or Hornstado, as we saw by. We had mini everything in this match. Hornswoggle took on El Torito, of course, with the 3MB. I'm no longer calling them the Job Squad. They actually won on Monday night, but they're still the Job Squad, even though they won on Monday, like I said. But we had like a mini everything in this match with Torito and Hornswoggle. We had a mini referee. You had a mini announcer. You had a little announce table and a little announcers. You had Micro Cole, Jerry Smaller, and JB Elf. You know, it's just like I think I would expect a comedy match, especially with these two guys. I thought they knew a comedy match, and it was a fun match. It was very entertaining. But the only downside of this match is I wish it came down to just Torito and Hornswoggle. Like it just depended on them, not relying on the interference of the 3MB and Torito's buddies, Primo and Epico. I mean, Diego and Fernando. Los Matadores. We saw a lot of interferences from those guys, but there were some great spots involving them. A lot of people. There was a mini spot fest. It was kind of funny seeing those little ladders and little chairs and stuff. Some of the best spots in this match were involving the Los Matadores and 3MB interference. Even though I kind of dissed the interference of those two teams getting involved, not letting the little people just have the match all to themselves without any much interference from those guys. But the interference from those guys kind of helped the match, despite my like I said, some great spots between these two great teams. One of the spots was like Heath Slater getting slammed through one of the tables, like backdrop. Like there's like 4 tables set up, and I think Drew McIntyre got a big spot. Tried to go for a big move. He got whammed against a table. And just went through a bunch, like people. I think Slater went through a bunch of ladders and tables with the Los Matadors, like a double team move with El Torito. That was kind of a fun little spot. Like I said, there were some fun spots. Like I down the interference, but I think the interference helped the match. You know, like I said, I would have loved to have seen just El Torito and Hornswoggle just fight it off in a WLC match for themselves, but the interference helped with El Torito getting the big victory by jumping up the top rope, landing on Hornswoggle on the table, on the ring, in the ring. Big mini splash through that mini table, and 1, 2, 3 victory for El Torito in what was a fun match, which is a 2.5 out of 5. It was just a fun way to open up the pay-per-view. It's probably one of the funnest pre-show matches in a while. Probably of all the pre-shows. It was just a fun, entertaining fight between these two. It was like I said, it was a comedy match, but there was some good spots in there. So fun match, fun opener involving El Torito and Hornswoggle in the WLC. By the way, before we get on down to the main card, I will say this. I was watching the pay-per-view tonight. This is the second pay-per-view broadcasted through the WWE Network. And I have to applaud WWE Network once again. The quality is excellent. It didn't crash tonight. No lags at all. The WWE Network. I've been watching the WWE Network for the last couple months. Legends House is awesome. I still don't like the original programming. Just a little side note. WWE Network, the live streaming for the network was awesome again tonight. Like it was for Mania. WWE Network's got a long way to go, but I think WWE Network's it's on the right track. That's not much. Now on to the main pay-per-view. Let me do something for a second. Bye-bye. Main card, we kick these off with a triple threat elimination match. I don't know how they added that in. Involving Wyatt Van Dam, Jack Swagger, and Cesaro, the king of swing. Swing! Or as Heyman would say, the Paul West, Cuckoo Cuckoo. Once again, bragging about Brock Lesnar. We know, enough already. We don't want it shoved down our throats. Anyway. I kind of had suspected this match to kind of open up the pay-per-view because these guys are great athletes. And they delivered a good matchup being a triple threat elimination match. And there was even some weapons, well, at least a weapon used. I didn't expect much weapons to be used in this matchup. A lot of weapons used throughout the evening. And the crowd, it was New Jersey. The New Jersey crowd was pretty good, especially supporting Cesaro in this matchup. Pretty good action from all three of these guys. Like I said, they're very good athletes. And I thought that two things were going to happen. One, we were going to see Paul Heyman and Zeb Coulter get it on, which sadly we didn't see any physical altercations between these guys. I thought there would be after what happened on Raw Monday. Because I thought there'd be a tag match. I thought they were going to set up like Coulter and Swagger against Cesaro and Heyman. But then to put RVD in there because he kind of got screwed out of the IC Championship thanks to interference by Cesaro and Swagger doing his finals match against Wade Barrett on Monday night. So some fun action, some fun spots, especially during the first elimination. Cesaro did like a side. It was like an inadvertent double team. As Cesaro came up the middle rope with his big side suplex up the middle rope. Landed Swag on the ground to set up for a 5-star frog splash from out of nowhere for Wyatt Van Dam. And 1, 2, 3 pinned on Swagger with an inadvertent double team, getting eliminated by both RVD and Cesaro, inadvertently double teaming. And there was some great action involving these two guys, especially Van Dam setting up his big leg drop, setting up Cesaro on the barricade, going for his, like, here's Cesaro, here's Wyatt Van Dam, here's Cesaro up against the barricade, like Wyatt Van Dam came from the rope, then bang, with the leg drop on Cesaro on the barricade. That was kind of a fun little spot. And also Wyatt Van Dam got the trash can in. That was a weapon in this match. He used a trash. Yeah, triple threat match means no DQ. So Wyatt Van Dam grabbed the trash can, nailed the Cesaro with it. He even did Rolling Thunder on it. And it was setting up the big finish, putting the trash can on top of Cesaro to set up for the 5-star frog splash. But instead, Cesaro rolled out of the way and had already nailed on the trash can, setting up the neutralizer and getting the victory after the neutralizer on the trash can. He didn't swing RVD though. He swung Swagger. That was the second thing I was guaranteed that I thought was going to happen. Unless you saw a swing. Cesaro swing would happen. That was on Swagger early on before he got eliminated. So with the neutralizer on the trash can, Cesaro gets the victory. I thought he'd be inserted to the IC Championship match, but Cesaro will be a champ one day. Because I thought he was going to win the IC Championship and get that big push. But he's on his way. You know, this victory tonight, very impressive win for Cesaro. Very fun matchup. I will give this match a 3.0. I think I'll rate a lot of these matches 3.0. Except the next match. So, there you go. Cesaro gets the victory. Very fun matchup between these three guys. Very athletic guys. Great way to kick off the main card. Now on to our next matchup. The Ravishing Russian. Lana. God. Like I told you, New Jersey crowd were good tonight. They even chanted, "We love Lana. Oh, we want Lana." Is Lana like the new Sable? I always call people the new Sable sometimes. I've used that expression for a couple people. the new Sable means Sable was the manager for Mark Merrill, a.k.a. Johnny B. Bad, and Sable got all the attention, not Mark Merrill. And that's why things happening with Lana and Alexander Rusev, as he took on R-Truth and Consequences Creed, Xavier Woods. It was supposed to be a handicap match. But I think Rusev learned after what happened on Monday, for the first time in his run here in WWE, his invincibility was taken away, his arm was taken away as he was knocked down by both R-Truth and Xavier Woods, showing the double team that they were hoping to use tonight. And like I said, Rusev learned from that. He took out Xavier Woods immediately before the match even started. So a handicap match went to a one-on-one match involving R-Truth and Rusev. And with the crowd fixated on Lana, Alexander Rusev just annihilated R-Truth. Yes, R-Truth had some great offense. And for the first time in a Rusev match, Rusev once again looked vulnerable. Got taken down a few times by R-Truth, trying to be great offensive moves by R-Truth there, but Rusev would indeed crush him as the Bulgarian brute and the super athlete. Alexander Rusev dedicated his match to Putin. That's what Lana said. God, that was weird. Annihilating him with the accolade after the side suplex setup and the 1-2-3 tapping out of R-Truth. And he would later knock out Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods was being cared to by the doctors after getting annihilated by Rusev before the match started. He beat him up. He, being Rusev, beat up Woods after the matchup as the doctors were still checking up on him. So there you go. Rusev with the victory 2.0. No, I should say 1.5. Probably the lowest rated match of the night. It was just okay. It was just mostly a beatdown match. R-Truth got some okay offense, but Rusev's just, he's got no character. Like, Lana's got a character in him. And that's why people levitate towards Lana more, because Rusev's just a brute. He just comes in and just beats people up. You know, he doesn't speak English. He's like the Great Khali, but shorter in Russian. Or Bulgarian. Whatever nationality he is. So there you go. Rusev crushed R-Truth and Xavier Woods. Now, on with our next matchup for the Intercontinental Championship involving Biggie Langston. Biggie taking on Bad News Barrett. Now, Bad News Barrett's been shouted out as a future world champion. A couple years back, he was supposed to win Money in the Bank, but there's been a lot of setbacks for Wade Barrett. You know, being in the core after getting rid of being kicked out of Nexus. He was supposed to win Money in the Bank one year, but he was injured, so. And the Bad News Barrett gimmick's been over. You know, I was sick of him talking, not wrestling. Now he's finally wrestling again. Now he's up. I think he's going to get a big push, and I think it looked like that tonight as he took on Big E for his IC Championship. It was a fun matchup between these two guys. As Big E, I've always applauded Big E as a babyface. So I like Big E. He's been a great the crowd seemed to like him a lot, and I think he's gotten over as a babyface. So I like him, but I'm starting to like Wade Barrett again. You know, Bad News Barrett, whatever you want to call him, and the crowd's so over him, especially when he says, "I've got some bad news." Indeed. It was a fun matchup as Biggie used his power leverage, but so did Barrett. Barrett had some great power moves too, delivering all of his big moves. He did the Winds of Change move as he caught Biggie in midair. I think Biggie was going for a big move. He got caught in midair by Wade setting up the Winds of Change. He also nailed him with his second big move being the Wasteland. Yeah, Wasteland. And it was ready to set up the Bullhammer, his other big move, but Biggie was trying to come back with some big moves of his own. And he was setting up for the big ending. He pulled the straps down, man, tits showing. But as he was getting set up for the big ending, Wade counted it, swung around Biggie a little bit, and whammed Biggie right into, as Biggie got whammed into the big Bullhammer elbow out of nowhere, and a 1-2-3 victory for Wade Barrett, your new Intercontinental Champion. I think Biggie's had an okay one as IC Champions. One's been okay. But I think Wade Barrett's going to do great things with it. He's a 4-time IC Champion, and he's been, hinted for a big push, hinted to be World Champion, like I said earlier. And I think this is his last chance to really get the opportunity to be world champion. He was in a feud with Orton a few years ago when he was part of Nexus. He's been kind of lauded as a soon-to-be future world champion, and his time's running out. His potential's starting to wear thin. And nowadays, IC champion again, I think it's going to really give him the push he really needs and really deserves. At least one more final push to finally get that brass ring, finally grab it, and grab the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, all we need to do now is get rid of Dean Ambrose as the U.S. champion. That's all I need to do now. Get a new U.S. champion. Sorry, Dean Ambrose doesn't fucking defend the title enough. So they need a new U.S. champion who will defend his title more often. So there you go. I will give this match a 2.5 out of 5 for this matchup involving Biggie and Mr. Barrett. Like I said, like Biggie, he had an okay Wayne, but I think Wayne's going to do good things with it. Finally elevate him to get another big push and finally get that brass ring and be a world champion one day and live up to his potential at last. Speaking of Dean Ambrose, mentioned Dean Ambrose, on to, in my mind, probably the best match of the night. The Shield taking on Evolution. Now, of course, involving Batista, Triple H, and Orton. Of course, Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns. Now, as much as I was disappointed that they had no stipulation, I really thought there was going to be a stipulation. Maybe War Games, maybe a tables match, but I was disappointed there was no stipulation added. I thought it was because they don't want to get Batista hurt because Batista's supposed to be leaving tonight and promote his movie. I mean, he may stay to Payback now, but that's concurring rumors. But despite the lack of stipulation, this match made up for it with a lot of brawling tonight. Like the Shield against the Wyatt family, it was almost like that match almost. The match was kind of slow going. Evolution just beat the crap out of Shield early on, just isolated the guys. Like Rollins started up, he just got annihilated by all three guys. Evolution being back, I think it's a good thing. Evolution has some great teamwork tonight. And too bad they may not stay around since Batista might be leaving, or may not be. But if Batista does leave, it would be disappointing because the Evolution Shield feud could go a long way. Evolution's teaming up well. Like I said, the match got kind of slow going with just the three guys annihilating Rollins, and then Ambrose got in there just trying to tussle it out. But once Roman Reigns came in off the hot tag, as the subtitle of the video can tell, all hell broke loose. It was just a brawl outside the ring. There was some epic spots during this portion of the match. And probably the best portion of the match was the final 5 to 10 minutes when Roman Reigns came in. It was just a all-out brawl with Batista and Roman Reigns in the ring with the big Superman punch moves. But outside the ring, it was Rollins, Ambrose, Batista, and Orton. They were just brawling. Some great spots. Ambrose running from the Spanish announce table all the way to the timekeepers area, running against Batista and Batista's friends Orton and Triple H in the, like I said, in the corner. Here's Ambrose and here's Orton and Triple H and here's Ambrose. He ran from the Spanish announce table, bang, right to the announce table barricade, and they brought into the crowd. And the other great epic spot was Rollins. Seth Rollins, probably the MVP in this matchup for sure. Big start move, stopping Batista from doing a big move. It was just chaos, especially with Rollins. Best spot on that was Rollins jumping up the top of a crowd barricade onto Triple H and Orton below. It was like a 20 foot flip at least. It was just killer chaos. We saw all the big moves, the pedigree, the Batista bomb, RKO being delivered, and the big Superman punch, and of course the spear as Orton and Triple H and Reigns, his partner Rollins and Ambrose laid off on the floor after Rollins' big splash. Like I said, Reigns came in with the Superman punch and the spear of Batista, and a 1-2-3 victory for the Shield. It makes sense. If Batista's leaving, it made sense for Batista to be the one to get pinned and get triple powerbound early in the match as well. It was just chaos. Once Roman Reigns got in, the match really got going. It just got chaotic. It was just a brawl. Just an extreme war. Like the Wyatt Shield match. You know, Shield had some great matches in 6-man tags. You know, the match with the match with the Wyatts were awesome. In this match, although like the Wyatts match, it was slow going, but once it got going, it was just chaos. It was just chaos, chaos, chaos. Especially while I've been saying this lately. Like Reigns has been one of my favorite guys in the Shield, but I think Rollins has been impressing me lately, especially in the Wyatts match. He wasn't for me in that match too with some great epic spots. And once again tonight, he delivered a great epic spot with that splash off the balcony. That was just chaos. That's gonna be one of the most talked about moments of the night. Anybody almost talked about matches of the night. I've been debating about how this match is gonna be rated. I will rate it 4.0. It was just that entertaining. It was just a fun matchup. Like I said, slow in the beginning, especially Evolution taking over, and showed some great double, triple team. All 6 guys did well. They all performed well. Despite my little nudge earlier about Dean Ambrose to get rid of the U.S. Championship, which he should. Come on, I love the Shield, but Ambrose needs to get rid of that U.S. Championship or fucking defend it more. And I know he defended at SmackDown. Defend it more often. Or let him drop it. But besides that, Shield with a dominating victory over the team known as the Evolution. It was Evolution versus the Revolution. And the Revolution won over this one. So Shield got the victory. 4.0 indeed. Very intense, very physical, demanding matchup. And I hope this feud continues. If Batista doesn't leave, I would love this feud to go on longer. But if Batista leaves, you know, it'd be kind of sad because this feud could really go places if Batista didn't want to leave to make a movie or promote a movie. Now on to our next matchup, the Steel Cage match. And also I was kind of surprised by the booking. I thought Shield might have been the co-main event. Or even further down the card, not the 4th match on the card. But hey, that's WWE for him. You know. Now on to our next matchup, Steel Cage, John Cena against Bray Wyatt. Now, Steel Cage was there for a reason, kind of prevent Harper and Ward from interfering. Well, even if they couldn't get in the cage, they wouldn't interfere in any other way. Yeah, right. They stood. It was like basically a lot of interference. Like the match was just okay. It was just a boring action. Like these 2 guys, they're not best wrestlers in the world, but they're better than Batista. A lot of Batista. This is New Jersey, so they booed the hell out of Batista, especially the You Can't Wrestle chance, which is kind of deserved. But this match was just okay. You know, a little bit better than the Mania match, but just not much. You know, the ending was just creepy. That was probably the best part of the matchup. But this match, like I said, the match was okay for being a Steel Cage match on TV PG. It was just okay. Like I said, a lot of interference from Ward and Harper. They got way involved, a little bit too involved in this matchup. With like every time Cena tried to escape, one or the other would just block Cena's way, went to go against them, some okay little spots, but the interference just got annoying after a while. It just got annoying. I'm not the biggest Cena fan, as you know by my reviews. You know, I call him Super Cena, but it's just, come on. You know, the interference was just too much. You know, too much interference with Ward and Harper. And they indeed got there just as us by John Cena. They got involved big time. Like doesn't matter how Cena tried to escape through the door, escape over the top. Harper and Ward were there to block him at every corner, in every way, shape, or form. So there you go. But there was some fun little moments, especially the ending. Like I said, but so we'll see what's going down here, especially at the end of the match. But like Cena's okay little action, you know, like I said, not a lot of action. But then of course Cena went for the FU a few times, of course the final shuffle. There were some cool little spots, but of course Cena was he hit the AA at one point, trying to let Brey make him tap, and one of the Wyatt's trying to pull him out. But then Cena was going for another big move, going for the door again after, like I said, all 3 members got in there. I think he kicked the hell out of Warren on the top of the cage, knocked out Harper, and knocked out Brey. So Cena had all 3 Wyatt members out. He was going for the door. Then the lights went out. And then his little kid came out saying, "Who's going the whole world?" Like his mic was distorted. Like, you know, like those sound effects. Who's going the whole world? You know, making him sound all creepy. He was standing at the cage door of Cena. Cena got distracted by that creepy kid, and then ran into the Sister Abigail by Bray Wyatt. With Cena laid out, Brey escaped, and Cena lost. Yay! This made up for Cena winning at Mania. You know, as I said it earlier, I've said it a few times about Cena not getting anybody over, about Cena being an ego, but not letting people get over him, especially pinning Bray Wyatt. He always said that if you want to be a big star, go through me, or in other words, you want to go through me, you're not going to get through me, because if you go through me, I'm going to bury your ass. Well, Bray Wyatt finally beat Cena. Although Cena, yes, didn't get pinned to retain his dignity, Bray Wyatt did get the victory with a little help from his little kid, whose name is Little Johnny. Well, we had a little Jimmy, now we have a little Johnny. 2.5. It was just it was an okay match. It was like boring action. It was kind of lull, and of course, a lot of interference. That's why it took I rated 2.5 just because the act was just okay, not a lot of excitement, and also because of the interference. Even with the cage, there was still a lot of interference. It's just kind of annoying after a while with Warren and Harper. Come on. You try to make it a fair fight, and there's still fucking interference. Come on, WWE. But we'll see what happens. I think the feud may continue, especially with this little Johnny now. I think Bray Wyatt and Cena's feud could continue, even though typically cage matches are the end of feuds. I think Wyatt and Cena could be extended, as long as they don't turn Bray Wyatt babyface. Come on, I don't think they need a babyface. It'll ruin the whole gimmick to make him a babyface. That's like turning Doink the evil clown into a good clown. I've said it before. I hate when good heels become bad babyfaces. Example, Randy Orton. And Sheamus, who needs to turn heel soon. Like, I like Sheamus as a babyface, but now he's still heel again. He's gotten stale. Now, on with the Divas match. Before I get to that, wasn't there supposed to be a tag team title match tonight between Usos and Wyatt Baxel? Maybe tomorrow on Wall. We had Paige taking on Tamina for the Divas Championship. I would have loved to have seen Paige. I know a lot of people would agree with me on this one, that we would have loved to have seen a great big Paige versus AJ feud. After Paige beat AJ, I think we were all hoping for a Paige AJ feud. But after AJ left a little bit, take a little break, Tamina won that battle royal. It's just a little bit of a disappointment that feud never happened, but it may still happen when AJ comes back. Anyway, this match being a makeshift match after AJ left for a while, it's okay, typical Divas match action. Like, Paige still needs a lot to prove. She has some good offense tonight against Tamina, a big, powerful chick known as Tamina. And she has a great offense, and Tamina just pounded her outside the ring. There was one little spot when Paige came off the ring apron, trying to go for a Hurricanrana type move on Tamina, but then Tamina had her own swing. Like, we had the Cesaro swing. I think we got the Tamina swing. She caught Paige mid move for the Hurricanrana and swung around against the turnbuckle, swung around against the barricade. Tamina, she spun her white round, baby, white round, like a racket, baby, wow, 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 wow. So that a live reference or a Flo Rida reference, because Flo Rida sampled that song and used baby white round. So there you go. Whatever reference you want that I referenced, the spin white round, as Tamina did spun Paige white round a little bit. But despite that spin, and of course the big powerful move from Tamina, Paige came flying back with some big high-flying moves, coming in, of course, her big Scorpion Neo Lock, and the 1-2-3 victory, the tap out, should I say. But there you go. 2.0 out of 5. It was an okay fun Divas match, especially coming after the creepiness of Cena and Wyatt. Once again, they had to come in after a weird moment. The Divas match was after the Taker Brock Lesnar match at Mania, and now these two had to fight after Cena Wyatt. Because the crowd was dead because they were coming from that still. And getting ready for a main event. So there you go. Paige wins. It was a decent, okay Divas matchup. With Tamina trying to go for that big kick. And that's when, like I said, Paige got the counter and the cross lock, the Scorpion wheel lock, the cross lock, whatever she wants to call it. So there you go. A 2.0. The one to probably the second best match of the night on the main card. But I think the matches of the night definitely Shield and Evolution number 1. 3 would be Cesaro and RVD and Swagger. Number 2 favorite match, definitely main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Bryan against Kane in Extreme Rules. Now, I've said this a lot, that Daniel Bryan is one of those guys like CM Punk who can have a good match with just about anybody. And Chris Jericho, too. Who can have a good match with just anybody. And yes, Daniel Bryan and Kane's had some history when Kane was corporate Kane. And of course, Team Hell No. 1 year ago this year, Team Hell No lost the Tag Team Championships at Extreme Rules to Rollins and Reigns of the Shield. And of course, 1 year later, they're not the champions anymore. Yet Ambrose, who also won a championship last year, Extreme Rules, is still champion. He needs to lose it, like I said earlier. But Bryan and Kane, it was just a war between these two guys. Kane came down and Daniel Bryan, wanting revenge after being taken out by Kane, not once, twice, but taken down by 3 times the Tombstone a few weeks ago. And what Kane tried to do to Brey Bella, or should I say Brey Bryan? Is she going to change her last name, or is she just still going to be Brey Bella? After they tried to do her last week, Daniel Bryan just ran right at Kane as the match started. There was some fun spots and some great weapon use. Probably the most weapons used in a matchup tonight. We had a lot of candlesticks. A lot of candlestick whacking by Kane. Just whacking the hell out of Bryan with the candlestick. And then Kane got his one-ups. Got what came around. What goes around comes around. Kane got smashed a few times by the candlestick himself. By Bryan. And they broke out all the announce tables. Too bad the mini announce table couldn't be rebuilt. I know it was destroyed in the WLC match. Would have been fun to see that table get destroyed again. As both special announce table and the announcer's booth was getting destroyed. And eventually, I think Kane chokeslammed Bryan on the table at one point. And they also fought all the way to the back. They fought all the way to the back. The only match tonight to go all the way to the back. To the backstage area, even to the parking garage. With Kane whamming Bryan against the column. And then one of the funniest spots was Kane being slammed by Bryan, slamming him on the floor, even trying to avoid a fire extinguisher from Kane, then knocking him out with a core ball. He grabbed the core ball and knocked Kane out with it, and he couldn't pin. It wasn't a false count anyway match, so the only way he could lift Kane back to the ring, and I mean literally lift him, he grabbed a forklift, put Kane on top of the forklift, and rolled him back to the ring and dropped him back in the ring with the forklift. That was kind of a funny, unique spot. And another great, like I said, tables were being used a lot, especially near the end of the matchup, as both guys were just nailing each other with everything that wasn't hammered down. Weapons galore besides the tables and the candlesticks. A lot of chairs being used. It was just a fun, and Kane just beat the crap out of Bryan, but of course Bryan being the never say die attitude that he is. Some big flying moves. There was one spot he was going for a big flying move off the middle rope, and that's when Kane threw him through the table, I think. And there was another cool spot when Kane was on top of that forklift. Bryan came off he dumped Kane off the forklift, and he came off top. He got on top of the forklift and did a flying headbutt on top of the forklift that he lifted Kane on. So that was kind of a fun spot too. But my favorite spot was definitely the ending. As Kane was grabbing another table. He was grabbing another table after he chokeslammed Bryan to the announce table, like I mentioned. He put on another table from underneath the ring, and all of a sudden I saw these guys with fire extinguishers. I can't pronounce it right. Fire extinguishers. I saw him pull those out. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then I saw lighter fluid under the table. I saw gasoline under the wing. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. They say this is Extreme Rules. Well, PvPG my ass. They're using fire again. That's why they have the fire extinguishers there. Then Kane lit the fucker on fire. He got on top of the apron, and then Kane got pushed off the apron by Bryan, whammed against the table. That was a fun little spot. And the guys were just pulling Kane out, just firing those extinguishers after he went through that flaming table. That was a fun little spot as well. Then he went back into the ring, ate the big flying knee. He was put in the S like a few times. But of course, after the big flying knee and the aftermath of that table hit, 1-2-3 victory, D-Ry retains in his first title defense the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I was like hoping that the authorities slash Triple H and Stephanie wouldn't interfere, which they didn't, thank God. So a 3.5 out of 5. It was a fun matchup. It was a very physically grueling match, and like every D-Ry match, D-Ry carried the match. But Kane did well too. He had some good action in there too. But D-Ry just, I love D-Ry. I'm glad he's champion in his most legit reign as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He's had it for a month now. His longest reign, finally. It's not a day or 5 minutes. So there you go. D-Ry retained Kane in a very physically grueling matchup, but Kane set right back up. I think the feud's not over. Kane set back up and make the fire go out. So there you go. That's how we end Extreme Rules. So I think the Kane D-Bryan feud, because there's no good heels left. Yes, Bad News Barrett and Cesaro's win, but they got programs going on. Bad News Barrett's the IC champion, which could lead up to maybe a title match against D-Bryan. Makes sense. Oh, that feud would be interesting, because D-Bryan was a member of Nexus before he got fired in 2010. So that would be very interesting to see Bad News Barrett against Daniel Bryan down the line for the World Heavyweight Championship. If D-Bryan holds it long enough to defend against Wade Barrett, I would love to see that feud. Especially, the Nexus connection. So that would be very interesting to see that. But maybe Brock Lesnar may come back for SummerSlam. But there you go. D-Bryan retains over Kane. Like I said, 7.0 out of 5. 7.0 out of 10. Yes, it was. Yes, like I said in the beginning, I rated it high in the Mania, but it was like a lot of action tonight, a lot of great brawls outside the ring, backstage areas. Kind of fun. It was entertaining and fun pay-per-view tonight. Extreme Rules. There you go. That is it for my Extreme Rules review. I'll see you all later. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all very much for watching. By the time this review gets up, it'll officially be Cinco de Mayo. So happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. See y'all later. Yes. 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 On in honor of Cinco de Mayo today, or it will be when this video comes up. See ya. Upon that, yeah.